So, hi, Mr. Toym Imao. And so, paano ka napasali dito sa World Bex? And of course, yun sa, I think this is part of the exhibit of some UP students,
Yes.
right? Yeah. Can you tell me about
Okay.
it?
I got involved when the conversation started when I was a guest speaker. I did a talk about the visual arts, particularly public art, last year with World Bex. And after that, nag-continue na yung conversation about um, baka magplano silang gumawa ng exhibition dito na will have the visual arts. Kaya I was invited to exhibit some of my works, yung mga maquettes, no, in particular these are studies, in order to give the audiences a sense of uh, 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 an idea of what public art is. And I'm exhibiting here together with the UP College of Fine Arts and VMIM Contemporary, whose chief curator, is also a fellow professor at the UP College. At the UP Film Institute naman siya, ako naman sa UP College of Fine Arts. So what you see here is a sampling of the kinds of work that I do. It's mostly a mix of visionary work and work that I've already done. And some of the images that you see here are the past works that I've done already in the form of more permanent sculptures and the more ephemeral, temporary public art installation. So ang nangyari dito is that this is just a sampling, no? And we hope that this display would somehow give you an idea of what are the possibilities with regards to public art.
So, Toym, I've noticed, kay dati pa, di ba, when we first met sa Mabini, that you favor the colors like brown, bronze, red. Can you tell me the rationale behind it?
Well, because I work with more classical materials, no? And these are like the more neutral, muted colors of rather black, white, or yung mga stone finishes, no? And of course, brass. It's because I grew up with using metal as a major material, so I got it from my dad. So, as a form of homage to our family practices when it comes to choosing materials in the arts, not particularly in sculpture, I've used these colors consistently in the body of work that I do. Of course, there is always a mixture of colors also, no? But primarily, what you've mentioned is that these colors are the colors that are firmly rooted in most of my works are in brass, wood in particular, no, and stone finishes.
What's your opinion on technology and of course art? Like yung mga ano na ngayon, you have KOS, the Reels, yes.
Well, actually, kasi ang ano nga yan, it's a one big conversation that we're having right now in academia, no? In particular in the fine arts. It's so easy to create digital images, beautiful images, using the most powerful softwares right now, no? Midjourney can create both moving and still images that are seamless to a certain degree, no? Then you have ChatGPT to create literary works, no? It somehow this generation has been given this particular technology that challenges the traditional way of doing art, no? So how do we address it? No, we're not actually rejecting it, no, but rather finding ways in which we can humanize this technology, no, that it doesn't lose the human character, and that it the human intervention part, the nuances that make it handmade, no? Kumbaga human-made, should be there, the elements of the narrative, no? Because even though you have all this fantastic technology, there's this still noticeable uncanny valley aspect to the works that are produced, no? It lacks the spark of life, no? And so as artists, we are finding ways in which not only to harness this technology, but also to somehow give the necessary qualities that would make it human, no? So we need to study our ways of doing and our ways of seeing with regards to addressing technology-based art forms that are created in this current contemporary art scene.
Toym, for you, what is your greatest achievement as an artist and what have you yet to achieve?
Well, actually, it's I'm a firm believer of many small victories. No? I don't want to fixate in a particular goal. I'm not the sort of person that somehow defines a certain level of legacy that I have to achieve. No, I'm a serial collaborator. I think I grow. You mentioned, no, we've met in Mabining Mandirigma. I think my personal work as an artist is to collaborate with different kinds of creatives, no, in order not only to be party to the visions of other artists, no, but at the same time be a part of that creative process. No, I value the process more than the final product. No, I think that validates us as essential creatives. Kaya my achievement probably is marami. They're not that big, but they're very interesting, and I had a lot of fun doing those kinds of collaborations and work with other artists.
Interesting yung sinabi mo na you're really open to collaborating with other artists na whether kung kahit anong medium, right? So what if, for example, na diba ngayon uso uli yung cinema is alive again rom-com movies like yung Chiu and Paulo Avelino movie.
Yes,
Paano let's say i-ask ka na if you can become a production designer or set designer, would you be open to that? For
siguro I might be too old for production design, pero I find myself right now working with Sari Dalena on her Cinemalaya work. Actually, we just had a shoot yesterday, day 4 namin. So, I'm studying that. I'm also studying and creating my own film in the future, no? Kasi
you want to direct?
Yeah, I
That's
studied,
good. I'll
direction.
support that. I'll support that.
I studied direction under Marilu Diaz-Abaya for a year. I also apprenticed under her. And that is one thing na probably I will be considering that I'll be putting on the creative table, no? To study the possibilities, especially now that the tools necessary to create visual narratives through film are more accessible, no? You can create it with SLRs right now, or even the phone for that matter, no? What's important is that you have a very solid story, and I think my background as a visual artist, creating all these visual narratives, especially those that are rooted in history and a strong personal narratives that are happening in the country, would be a good ground for me to exercise and flex my storytelling abilities through film. Maybe in the future.
Do you have any particular, of course, sa Sari ka, work mo ngayon, directors and actors na you have in mind?
Marami naman, no? Pero yesterday I was with Love Diaz, no? I'm a big fan of his work, no? I think it's more of like challenging normal or mainstream storytelling. We might do it in a different way, medyo sensorial, no? As they say, no, you tend to retain narratives more if it's experienced by more than one senses. So yung parang mga 4D experiences sa theater na sense surround sound, meron parang movement and everything. Maybe not something like that, but something close to that approximation of an experience that engages all the senses might be the next way of telling stories in the future. No? Who knows? No? Pero, or probably you experience the story inside a particular sculpture or surrounded by sculptures.
It's interesting.
Those are possible ways of putting stories out there and engaging people to again, no, go to the movie houses or exhibition venues in which to to experience all these stories.
So last question na lang, no. With all the noise around us, how can a young artist find his or her voice?
I think ngayon kasi it's because of the ease in creating images right now, no. You can just like prompt and an image comes out, no. Pero ang importante is that sa mga young artists to be very truthful in their own personal creation of their work. I think one of the best ways that they can leave their mark is to use their own personal stories, no, as an anchor of their storytelling, no. Personal stories are more powerful than contrived ones, no, or yung para mga fictional. Sometimes the truth right now, reality for that matter, is much more interesting than something that's fantastical, no. It is because I think people are looking for the authentic, no. And if they have a very sincere process of creating their work, yung ginagawa nilang trabaho ay pinaghugutan sa sarili nilang mga storya, people will see sa sincerity ng work and be able to relate it more than something that's totally detached from everyday life. No, people are looking for genuine stories, and I think if they stay truthful to their process and art making, they won't go wrong.
Thank you, Toym.